Okay, in today's video, I will be doing something that's not school related because I know most of my gameplay commentary topics are mostly about school because, I am a college student after all, so it's only fitting that I'm kind of used to these kind of things by now. I think the new videos that I'll pump out, especially this video, it's going to be more focused on something non-school related or maybe something that's just not based in school at all. But I will be a hypocrite and I will break that kind of exact statement that I just said because today's topic will focus on my trip to Cuba. So let's get right into it here. So pretty much during my time in community college, I think it was my first semester, honestly. I was taking a Latin American studies class, and this is again it's like a sociology class that's based on Latin American studies, just like my last video was based on Asian American studies. And I was taking this class for GE just so I can, take it and and move on. Pretty much a GE, for those of you that don't know, is a class that you need to take in order to, transfer to graduate. And the professor, I think we were talking about like Cuba or something. Just like, you know what? Speaking of Cuba, I have this study abroad program in Cuba going up for anybody that's interested. I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty cool, because I've never really been out of the country before. And so, I had told her I made my intentions clear and blah, blah, blah. And I think they were saying like in the summer, because this took place in the summer of 2015, they were kind of saying like, oh, I want you guys to take, these classes, these X, Y, and Z classes, so you can get a better understanding of Cuba. But if you don't want to, you can easily just go to Cuba without having prior knowledge. But it is kind of recommended that take the classes so you can get a better understanding of the country overall. So for me, I was like, now fuck this bill. Like, I'm just gonna go there, okay? Like, I don't want to immerse myself in a culture. I just want to kind of get a good peek at it, and just fuck off, from there. And pretty much, I think the trip was around 3,000, which was funny, or 3,500, which was funny because they were all my college was offering other places too, like Paris or London or Italy, for instance, and they costed around the same price too. However, the difference was that in Cuba we only stayed there for around a week, whereas those other destinations I mentioned, they were like maybe 2 weeks, and then some of them were even like a whole month study. And so pretty much for me, because I didn't drive at that time, I had to pretty much tell my professor to pick me up at 4 o'clock in the morning, which was so dark at that time, so it was very weird. I felt like I was being kidnapped, but I kind of consented to being kidnapped, so it's not, it's all good, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, we pretty much just went to I think it was like maybe a pretty decent drive. We went to the LAX airport. It was still kind of dark, and well, I think when we were done, it was already like 6 o'clock in the morning, and we kind of waited for our luggage. Or no, 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 sorry, we waited for everybody to come in, and then we just boarded on the airplane. And I think I got like around the middle seat, because first class is for like the rich people, and the common people like me, they probably like take the second and third class. So we were somewhere in the middle. And dude, those air seats or those airplane seats were very, very squished. Very, very little leg space. It's pretty much a person's. It's pretty much claustrophobia in a nutshell because you have so little space to breathe and all that. And while we were going to Miami from LA, it was like around a 10 to 20 hour flight. It was very, very long, given how you're going from the West Coast to around, I think Florida is around the Midwest, right? No, no, no. Is it in the Midwest or is it in the East Coast? I'm not so sure. I think it's in the East Coast or something. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, I think the things that they were to do was to listen to music. By that time, I didn't really listen to music. Um, and then there was also you could fidget with like the in-app screens that were built behind the airplane seats, and you could like watch movies or you could like play games or chat with people. You kind of like just have something to do because it was such a long flight. And for me, I think at one point during night it was like maybe 10 or something at night. It was like dark outside, literally dark, and I was trying to watch a movie, but the thing is with is that they had like an audio jack too, where you could like if you brought your headphones, you could like just listen to the thing in person. But for me, it's like given how I am in a big ass capacity with maybe 100 or so people, like it was pretty much that. And you notice they made it, everyone can kind of hear you. and I was trying to watch, I think Rush Hour 1 or 2, and I put the volume on 1. And dude, that shit was loud as fuck, dude. I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like, yo, like, I'd rather just watch it with no volume then. So I watched Rush Hour, and I think I watched a few other movies too, to kind of help kill time. And then finally we landed in Miami, and Miami was very, very hot. I mean, it was like California, but it was kind of worse. Or maybe better, I don't know, I'm not so sure. But yeah, Miami was pretty okay. I mean, the only thing that we did there, honestly, was we just kind of checked into our hotels, and then we just kind of ate at a local Cuban American cuisine, and then we had to the next day we had to go to the Miami airport and depart and go and arrive in Cuba. So honestly, the trip in Miami was very very short. I think we went to like this art gallery where it was pretty cool. We saw a lot of like sculptures and all that. It was pretty cool, and I took a lot of good pictures, so that's not bad. But then afterwards, it was a very, very short trip. So then we had to go to the Miami airport. We had to go to, pretty much just take another flight to Cuba. I don't know how long that was, maybe like 5 or 6 hours, I'm not so sure. And then, dude, when we landed, it was even hotter, man. I was like, damn. Like, good thing I'm born in California, because if I was born in like fucking Chicago or something, I wouldn't be used to this kind of heat. But anyways, yeah, I mean, we boarded, or me and my classmates and everybody kind of boarded. And also, before I continue, our class was kind of combined with another college that was from DC or from Washington. They kind of joined with us too, so it's kind of like a collaboration too. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, we landed, and dude, it was very very hot. Like I said, I mean, like keep in mind that we just landed, and the airplane was still like the engine was still roaring. It was super hot, and we had to walk maybe like 3 or 5 minutes to like this embassy where they would like check your passport and all that, and that was pretty cool. And then after that, after the races we went, I think because the program was EF College Tours or something like that, and they booked around 3 hotels for us, 3 to 4. So we would kind of like switch hotels every like 2 days or whatever. And we went to like the typical places because like the thing with these college, hold up, the thing with these college study abroad programs is that they're very very structuralized and organized, meaning like they want you to follow them, they want you to like never go off on your own, and kind of like pretty much like a little field trip, I guess. And I guess it's different because my impression was that I thought they would let us explore, and they did, but they only let us explore during the nighttime when there's like when we finished up our activity for today. So let's say, for instance, if my trip tomorrow is to go to the Cuban Museum, we would go there, and after that, we would like just chill afterwards. And at night, I think was when people started to really go out more. And I think at one time we went to like this small area near our hotel, and there were like these two prostitutes. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, because the thing about Cuba is that if you're a foreigner, the Cuban government, they give you a different kind of peso. They give you the foreigner version, which is like worth 3 times that compared to the local Cuban currency. So the fact that you're a foreigner and the fact that you had 3 times the amount of money compared to the locals really made the Cubans try to maximize on the incoming tourist attractions that people like me go there for. And it was pretty cool. I mean, we saw other stuff too. Like we went to museums. We saw like this little car show. I think we were in a bus or something, and then we went outside. We saw like Che Guevara and all that, and it was pretty cool because they had like this local car show where they would show like these '90s American cars, and they pimped the shit out of it, and it was pretty cool to see. And I think another interesting story was that my friend and I, we were kind of one day just kind of bored as hell, and so we decided to pretty much go outside and explore. And as we were walking at night, and at night it was very full of a lot of people too, so it wasn't like we were walking to some shady ass area or something. We encountered this woman. She was like handing out posters. She was kind of encouraging us in Spanish to go to this party or something, but I was like, "No, I'm good." So I kind of told my friend I kind of told my friend in English to translate and all that. And speaking of which, yeah, a lot of my classmates they were Latinos, so I think it was only like me and this one Asian girl that didn't speak that much Spanish. So I'm very very happy to have like 90% of our group speaking Spanish. So that's pretty cool. And then yeah, we kind of went a little bit forward after we met the party girl, I guess, if you want to call her that. And then there was like this dude who's like, "Hey man, you want to buy some Cuban cigarettes?" Because I didn't know at that time, but Cuban cigarettes were very, very popular in Cuba. So then we literally just walked for a bit. We pretty much walked for a bit, and then we entered his little hood area. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it was kind of dark, but it's whatever. I mean, we were foreigners that had money, so they wanted to make sure that we wouldn't get harmed or whatever. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was just kind of sketchy, but it was alright. And then we went inside. It was like a very small house with upstairs, or whatever. There were two homies chilling, watching TV. And then my boy right here, or not my boy, the cigarette dealer guy, he just brings out like 5 boxes just loaded with Cuban cigarettes. Then he asked me, he's like, "Oh, do you want to buy one?" I'm like, "No, I'm good, bro." And then my friend, he bought them, and he told me like he was gonna like smoke them when he had like a special occasion, like maybe like a wedding or like a celebration or an anniversary or something special to his life. And so he bought them, and it was pretty cool. And then on the way back, we I took a ride from him, and then like two of the other people that were involved in the transactions. And in Cuba, they were riding like these little wagons too. So the person who was riding a bicycle, and then like the little carriage, we would be kind of sitting in the carriages. And then finally, one time I tried to get my own room in Cuba because my friend or my roommate was this very, very heavy, very, very fat Mexican. He had children. He was in his 30s, and dude, he snored like mad. He was snoring absolutely insane, and I couldn't even sleep, honestly. And honestly, even in Cuba, I don't even think I slept at all. I maybe slept for like 1 or 2 hours at best. But if I'm not sleeping in my own bed, I usually have a hard time sleeping elsewhere. But yeah, anyways, overall, Cuba, it was a pretty okay place. I mean, maybe 6 out of 10. It was definitely something new for me. But I remember towards the end, a lot of classmates they wanted to just go back to America already. So maybe next time if I go traveling, I'd probably go somewhere where I'm more accustomed to the culture and all that. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next.